In a quiet city lived a boy named Divine. Divine was not just an ordinary boy. He was a boy born into comfort, into dreams, into a future that already looked bright and planned. His father was wealthy, a respected businessman, a man with vision. He had 7 children, 5 girls and 2 boys. But among them all, Divine was the closest to his father, and the most loved by him. His father saw something in him, something great and special. Sometimes, he would look at Divine and smile quietly, as if he could already see the bright future ahead of him. He had plans, big plans, that, after secondary school, Divine would travel abroad, to Canada, to study and build a better life there. And Divine believed it too. Life felt beautiful back then. He played football with passion. He played the piano also, in churches. Sometimes for free. Sometimes for little money. But he didn't care at all about the money. Because for him, it was never just about money. Divine loved God deeply. And in those moments, behind the piano keys, he felt peace. Real peace. But life has a way of changing, without warning. As Divine entered JSS 2, his father became sick. At first, it didn't look serious. Just the legs. Then the heart. Then the kidneys. Eventually to the lungs. And slowly, the strong man Divine once knew began to fade out before his eyes. The house changed. The laughter reduced. The business became unstable. And fear entered the family, silently. Years passed. Divine entered SS1. But things became worse. His father could no longer move like before. The companies started suffering. And eventually, everything almost stopped. The man who once carried everybody could now barely carry himself. And Divine watched it happen, helplessly. Day after day. Month after month. Year after year. His elder brother Victor continued his school. Continued higher institution. And continued moving forward. But Divine stayed behind. He sacrificed his life and education. His dream, just to be with his dad. Just to support him. So he dropped everything. School. Friends. And normal teenage life, gone. He followed his father everywhere. Stayed beside him. Helped him through pain. Sometimes in hospitals. Sometimes at business sites. And sometimes just sitting quietly beside him at home. While other young boys were chasing school life, Divine was learning survival. With his dad. To make small money. Divine would work at sites with laborers. In sweat, dust, and sun. A boy, once preparing for Canada. Now, struggling just to hold life together. But still he endured, because he loved his father. Then one day, the moment he feared, finally came. His father died. Divine broke. Completely broke down in tears and agony. He cried and cried and cried. Until tears were no longer coming out. The man who believed in him, the man who saw his future, was gone. The house became colder after that. Different. Empty. But the real pain had not even started yet. After the burial, everything changed. His brother Victor graduated from school and took control of the business. The properties, the company, and all the money left by his dad. Everything. And slowly, Divine began to realize something terrifying. He was no longer seen as family by his brother. The same boy who sacrificed years helping their father was now treated like he meant nothing. Arguments started. Tension grew. And bitterness entered the house. One day, while Divine was working for his brother, in his father's shop, an unsettled business with a client became a problem. And the police became involved. In the process, the police came to arrest Victor, Divine's brother. But they couldn't find him. And Divine, being the only one around, was taken to the police station to replace his brother, Victor. Imagine that, a boy who once had dreams of studying abroad. Now, sitting inside a cell. Humiliated. Confused, and broken. After days. And weeks. His brother later came and resolved the issue. And Divine was released. Broken. Poor. And down. But somehow, he still refused to give up. And from then going on, life for him became survival. Pure survival. Divine hustled everywhere he could. Trying to do anything to sustain himself. He carried pain silently. Watching time move so fast. He thought about his mother. Her age. His own future. The pressure. Everything felt so heavy on him. He was confused. And didn't know what to do. But inside that darkness, something started growing. A new mindset. Divine began teaching himself skills online. No expensive school, no special support. Just struggle, internet, and determination. He learned how to build websites, apps and games, while fighting emotional battles nobody could see. Eventually, he created a meditation and wellness platform called Lux-vitae, a place inspired by peace, healing, reflection and hope. Maybe because deep down, he was searching for peace, too. But survival still wasn't easy. So he started learning crypto. Tried different hustles. Both physical and digital. Kept learning. Kept failing. And kept getting back up again. And later, he entered YouTube storytelling and content creation. Not because life was perfect. But because, he refused to let pain be the end of his story. And after everything. After loss. Betrayal, pressure, and suffering. Divine made one more decision. He decided to return back to school. 'Cause seeing how life was going, he knew he needed to go back to school. And with no much money and capital, he registered for higher institution exams. Paid for it himself. He studied, with the little strength he had left. Because somewhere deep inside, the boy his father once believed in, was still alive. Still fighting, still dreaming, still hoping. Trusting God for a better life and future. Maybe this is not just a story about pain. Maybe this is a story about rebuilding. About a young man trying to rise again. After life buried everything he once knew. And maybe somewhere out there, another young person is listening to this right now. Feeling delayed, forgotten, or broken. If that is you, remember this. A delayed dream is not always a dead dream. Sometimes, life destroys the first version of you, so a stronger version can be born. After everything Divine had been through, he finally gained admission into a federal technology university in Nigeria. And for the first time in many years, it felt like life was finally giving him another chance. He chose to study mechatronics engineering and robotics. Because deep down, he had always loved creating things. Machines, systems, and technology. And with all the coding experience he had already acquired during his years of struggle, Divine was different from many students around him. While others only studied for exams, Divine built projects. Real projects. Websites. Apps, and other great ideas. Though, school life was never easy for him. That. He was even barely eating well daily. But he always put his trust in God. And God was merciful to him. Sometimes, he would stay awake all night, coding with tired eyes. Thinking about the future, he almost lost. The same boy who once worked at dusty sites, just to survive, was now slowly building a new life with technology. But the journey still wasn't easy. There were days of exhaustion. Days of doubt. Days, he questioned everything. But at last, he kept going. Because suffering had taught him endurance. Besides, he has no other option. Thus he had no one to run to. No one to help him except from God. After few years of grinding and consistently working towards his goals, slowly, things began to change. His YouTube channel started growing. At first, just a few views, then thousands, then millions. People connected deeply with his stories, his wisdom, his honesty, and the pain behind his words. Young people from different places began listening to him. Teenagers, struggling youths, confused minds searching for direction. And through his platform, Divine began teaching people about life, focus, growth, purpose, peace, and hope. At the same time, his website began to explode online. The meditation and wellness platform he once created during his painful times grew bigger than he ever imagined. Lux-vitae became known across different countries. And after years of consistency, Divine began making massive amounts of money. Hundreds of thousands, then millions of dollars. The same boy people once overlooked was now becoming one of the youngest successful entrepreneurs around his mates. Meanwhile, back home, life became different for Victor. Another police case struck him badly. More money disappeared. The remaining parts of the business suffered heavily. And slowly, everything started collapsing around him. Then one day, Victor heard news about Divine, his younger brother, who was now a multi-millionaire. The same brother he once treated badly. The same brother he once sent through suffering and pain. And suddenly, guilt entered his heart. For months, Victor tried looking for a way to reach him. Even their mother had already spoken to Divine many times about the situation. But deep inside, Divine still carried pain. Real pain. The kind of pain that leaves quietly inside a person for years. Then finally, Victor went to see his brother, alongside with his mom. No pride, no arrogance. Just regret and brokenness. They knocked and entered his office. The moment Divine saw him standing there with his mom, memories flooded back instantly. The suffering, the betrayal, the cell, the humiliation, everything. Then Victor knelt down and began pleading, crying, apologizing for all his mistakes and evil deeds. He explained that all he did was all because of jealousy, of how their dad always treated him special, and will always ignore him. He pleaded, and pleaded. And for the first time in years, Divine saw his elder brother, down and broken. But forgiveness was not easy. Not after everything. Divine himself began to cry. Because sometimes the hardest thing is not surviving pain, but forgiving those who caused it. And for a long moment, he stayed silent, not knowing what to do, remembering all that he had went through because of his brother. The pain was not something he could deal with in a moment. Then he remembered his father, his teachings about love and forgiveness, his love, his sacrifices. And above all, he remembered God, who has led him throughout those hard times, and by his mercies delivered him to this level in life. So despite the pain still inside him, Divine made a decision. He forgave his brother. And not only that, he gave Victor, his senior brother, 100 million naira, to help sustain their father's business again. Victor broke down completely, not knowing what to do, as tears filled his eyes, in shock and regret. And for the first time in many years, peace slowly returned to the family. Then 1 month later, Divine finally traveled to Canada with his whole family, and also Victor, his elder brother. The same dream his father once had years ago finally came true. As Divine walked through the streets of Canada, cold air touching his face, he suddenly stopped for a moment. Everything flashed through his mind. The hospitals, the suffering, the site work, the betrayal, the loneliness, the coding nights, the fear, the tears, and finally, the victory. His eyes filled with tears again, as he looked up quietly into the sky. Memories of his father flooded back in again, and softly, with a deep sigh. He smiled and said, "What a life." Now remembering all he had been through, he thanked God who showed him mercy, and brought him till this day. This is the end of today's story. A boy who once had dreams of greatness, but went through severe loss, betrayal, hardship, pain, and all kinds of suffering. And just when he was about to lose hope completely, God came through for him. And after everything his brother did to him, he still had the heart to forgive him and let go. Now tell me, if you were divine, would you have forgiven your brother after everything he did to you? And if not, what would you have done to him, to avenge him for all his bad deeds? Let your opinions be in the comments section. And don't forget to like, share this story with more people, and subscribe for more stories like this.